I believe the reason why you're not retired in your 20s is because you've been given some BS advice. You probably work hard, is woke enough to even consider early retirement, but you're not there yet because you've been following the wrong tips from gurus in the personal finance space. How do I know this? Because I've been in your exact same position just a couple years ago. Why should you even listen to me? I achieved my FI number and retired from corporate at 25 years old. First, I'll address some BS lies in the personal finance space, then the steps I personally took to retire at 25 years old. With the 4 steps I'm going to cover in this video, I'm sure you'll be able to retire earlier by a couple years or even before 25 years old. We'll dive right into the video after you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm so more people can benefit from the no BS personal finance advice. Lie number 1 is to just focus on investing in stocks. I used to preach this advice too in my earlier days when I didn't know any better, until I realized how big of a difference it makes when you invest with a small portfolio versus a large portfolio. A 7% growth in a 500K portfolio gives you 35K in a year. A 7% growth of a $500 portfolio gives you $35. What can $35 get you nowadays? Let me know in the comments. Lie number 2 is to figure out your FI number, aka the 4% rule. This is only applicable if you plan to only retire via stocks. The FI number is usually calculated using the 4% rule, which stems from the on average 7% annual return from the stock market, and minus the on average 3% inflation rate. The 4% rule says that you can safely withdraw 4% from your portfolio every single year without worrying about running out of money after you retire. So why do I think this is a lie? Because first of all, I think it is super hard to achieve the 4% rule FI number in your 20s. To retire early, according to the 4% rule, you need around $1.25 million. Not to mention that the 4% rule is designed for a 30-year retirement. If you want to retire in your 20s, you're not looking at a 30-year retirement horizon. You're looking at least 50 years. And according to research, the 4% rule only has a 36% success rate among us FIRE people, which stands for financial independent and retire early. Lie number 3 is focus on investing in real estate. For most people, investing in real estate is pretty out of reach, especially if you live in a high cost of living city like LA. Not to mention that for most people, their very first real estate purchase is usually their primary residence, which is not an investment. Real estate can only help you retire if you 1, flip real estate and make money from it, aka the BRRRR method, or 2, you can earn rent income by renting it out. How can you do that? By living in it, or if it's your primary residence. Sure, you can also house hack, which means you can rent out a portion of your home to offset your mortgage or any expenses. But in most cases, the money you get from house hacking is rarely enough to retire you. Lie number 4 is to make more money. In my opinion, it's not just about making more money, but also how you make that money and whether you're making money in a way that aligns with your ideal life. In my early 20s, I was making decent money. I was making 6 figures, working in corporate finance in the tech field. The money was good. The benefits were also good. Me? I wasn't so good. I was miserable. In fact, I got so miserable that I had to take months off of work due to my depression and anxiety. Making good money is great until you realize the trade-off you might have to make. I've seen so many of my peers get golden handcuffed into a job they hate, but the money's too good for them to leave. Ask yourself, how sustainable is it to continue working at this job? Is it worth trading your sanity and mental health for? Will you regret doing this if today is the last day of your life? Instead of focusing on making more money, start focusing on making money in a way that aligns with your ideal life. What would you love making money doing? No idea is too crazy. I mean, Ryan, a 6-year-old YouTuber who unboxes toys, makes $11 million a year. And this was 2017. So don't set limits on how you can make money. Lie number 5 is to spend less money. This is the biggest BS advice I've heard. Just spend less money. Pretty easy, huh? I don't think so. I think spending money the right way is way more important than stopping yourself from spending money at all or just forcing yourself to spend less money. You hear the advice of rice and beans, beans and rice, and of course the 20-cent iced coffee. You know what these advice are, and in my opinion, they're all distractions. Instead of just focusing on saving money or spending less money, focus on spending money in a way that's based on value and return on investment, aka ROI. Don't get cheap with things that potentially have a good ROI. This means buy that ticket to that conference that can expand your network. Invest in your health by hiring a personal trainer. Don't get cheap on your day. navigate who might be your future husband or wife. Now that we talked about the 5 main lies that are floating around in the personal finance space that are actually sabotaging your early retirement plans, let's talk about what are the steps I took to retire early in less than 7 years, starting with $0. Like what you're hearing so far? Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my new no BS money advice. Step 1 is to trade time for money. Yes, when everyone and their moms are talking about passive income, here I am preaching about active income, trading time for money. I am all for trading time for money, especially in the earlier stages. To make passive income, you either need a valuable skill, connections, or lots of capital. As a 20-something-year-old, most of us don't have any of these. So it's often a good idea for us to start with active income streams, aka trading time for money first before jumping into passive income streams. Step 2 is to expand my income streams within my circle of confidence, aka what I already know doing, what I am super confident in doing. This includes starting a YouTube channel, a coaching program, a consulting service, selling online courses. This is what made the most impact for me and gave me capital to start investing in stocks and real estate. However, you have to make sure that you're teaching something that you know and you've already done. Don't fall into a trap of trying to make a quick buck teaching something that you haven't even done yourself. The business coaches who have never started a business before but are now coaching people how to start and run businesses. Follow this formula. Do stuff, teach about what you've done, do more stuff so you can teach about more stuff that you've done. Never teach about something you haven't done yourself, even if it's more impressive to talk about. Trust me, it is going to backfire. Step 3 is invest in assets. And when I refer to assets, I refer to internal assets first. What does this mean? This means yourself, your skill sets, your knowledge base, instead of external assets like stocks and real estate. No single asset is going to make you more money than you. Instead of gambling away all your life savings on a random stock or cryptocurrency, you are way better off betting on yourself and investing your money in yourself, especially if your skill set still has room for improvement. And after you have increased your annual income to at least 6 figures, now is a good time to start investing in the stock market. Don't jump ahead and do this too soon. Your first $10,000 is way more impactful invested in yourself versus any external asset like the stock market or real estate. The number 1 rule in investing is to not lose money. When your income is still less than $10,000, chances are you don't really know what you're doing yet. This means you're very likely to lose money from investing in something you don't fully understand. Using Warren Buffett's concept of the circle of confidence, don't invest in anything you don't fully understand in hopes of making a quick buck. When you're ready to invest in the stock market, you can also look into getting some free stocks when you open up your brokerage accounts. Public is giving away a free stock as long as you open an account with them. M1 Finance also gives you $10 if you open an account with them. This is basically free money when you're ready to invest in the stock market. You can find links to these 2 brokerages in the description box below. Step 4 is to turn these active income streams into passive income streams. Now that you have traded time for money for a period of time and you have also expanded your income streams, you probably have a solid amount of money that you can use in your bank account and brokerage account. Now you can develop your passive income streams. Depending on what your expanded income streams are and what your skill sets are, you can create different passive income streams, such as selling an online course on Evergreen, automating your Etsy shop sales, and YouTube Avenue, just to name a few. You don't even need to hit a certain FI number in order to retire early. As long as your passive income exceeds your living expenses, you can technically retire early, and that number is different for everyone. For example, I'm a bougie lady. You can see all my handbags behind me, so I'm personally only comfortable to retire early when my passive income exceeds $20K a month. And also keep in mind that early retirement is not an irreversible decision. If one day you get bored or you just simply need more money, you can always get a job or create a new income stream. So have you noticed that I didn't even dive into real estate, which most money gurus says is like the biggest opportunity. It's like a must do for everyone. Yes, that is intentional. I don't believe real estate is the only way for you to retire early, especially if it's not part of your circle of confidence. And if it is, you would have done something about it within step 2 that we talked about. So far, we talked about the 5 key lies that sabotage your early retirement plans. and the 4 steps I took to retire at 25 years old. As long as you follow the 4 steps I covered in this video, I am sure you're in a good place to retire early. I'm going to link my next video up here, but don't click on it yet. Make sure to subscribe if you want to retire early, and don't forget to pick up some free stocks that I've linked below. Want to dive deeper into retiring early? I've created a free training for you to watch right in the info box. Be sure to check it out if you're ready to kickstart your early retirement journey, learning from someone who has been there and done that.